If you're gonna do it, just be honest about it. Just say, I know the public are interested in serial killers, they're interested in murderers. I knew if I could get access to Chris, I could write a book and I could make money. Just be honest about it. Don't give us, oh, it was meant to be. I knew I had to write about this man. I knew I had to document this series of events. No, you wanted to make money, you wanted to write a book, and you wanted to make money. Don't bullshit people. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to have a look at a Chris Watts video, obviously. This one is, well, to be honest, a lot of you have asked me to look at this. It's a video by Nancy Grace. Now, I don't know who Nancy Grace is. I haven't the faintest idea who she is, but you've all asked me to have a look. So I'm not really a reaction channel, but that many of you asked, so I thought I'd have a look at it. I haven't seen it. I've recorded it and just let it record, and then I came back to it later on. I let it record while I took the dogs out, and then when I come back it had finished. So my reaction is raw. I'm watching it with you as you're watching it now. All I know is just Nancy Grace has brought something out about Chris Watts recently, okay? I don't even know if I'll be able to use this yet due to copyright. I might be able to use bits of it. I might not be able to use any of it, but I'm just going to film it. I'll record it, get my reaction, see where we go from it, okay? So let's get into the video.
He told me once that there was some things he would take to his grave.
He's murdered his pregnant wife, the unborn baby, his two daughters, Bella and Celeste. But there's something so bad he won't tell you. And I don't know what could be more horrible than what we already know he did. I think it's something worse than that. Something he did to Shanann or the girls or to their bodies. Breaking news tonight, we go behind bars and freakily into the mind of murder dad Chris Watts, including why he justifies murdering his wife and two little girls, actually blaming his pregnant wife Shanann for not being more like his latest mistress. Really? It's her fault she's dead? Then how do you rope Bella and Celeste into that? Long story short.
So how has this just come about now, 3 weeks ago? I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to use, but we'll have a look at it because a few of you have asked me to look at it. So I'll look at what is possible to look at due to copyright. I don't know how much of it I'll be able to use, but let's have a look because he blamed Nicole Kessinger years ago. So what's new, I wonder?
Night, behind bars and into the mind of Chris Watts, a place I thought I would never go. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Because I'm concerned about a friend of mine. I dropped her off at her house at 2 in the morning last night because we were out of town together and we were on the way back from the airport and issues, and she's pregnant. And I haven't been able to get a hold of her this morning.
Did you tell your mother-in-law that she went to a friend's today? Yeah? What friend?
So I went to a friend's house, so that's all I knew.
Who was she supposed to go to?
That's all she told me.
He told all their friends different things, didn't he? Told about 4 different friends, 4 different versions. But what's new here?
I wear my sunglasses at night and indoors, okay. Did you see him going back and forth and back and forth? I'm just a trial lawyer, but I know that that's off, and with good reason. Take a listen to this.
My daddy is a hero.
That's heartbreaking.
He helped me grow up strong. He helped me snuggle too. He reads me books. He ties my shoes. If you're a hero, blue and blue, my daddy, I love you.
Shanann Ruchek never expected to fall in love with a man who sent her a random friend request, but 2 years later, she married Chris Watts. Just after their first anniversary, the couple welcomes baby Bella, and she becomes a big sister to Celeste at 2 years old. Despite financial struggles, the family is incredibly happy to learn they are expecting a little boy and break the news to Shanann's parents on a summer vacation.
Baby Nico was never born, unless you count coffin birth. After Shanann Watts was murdered and placed in a shallow grave, her body expelled baby boy Nico.
And they say YouTubers do it for clicks and drama. One of the first things she brings up is that. I would never bring that up. I might state it somewhere in the video, but I'd put it across very delicately. YouTubers getting a bad name and all that. We've got no care and consideration. What does mainstream media do? Bring that up straight away.
Calling because I'm concerned about a friend of mine.
There's absolutely no need to bring that up straight away within the first minute of the program. So don't tell me about YouTubers not caring.
I dropped her off at her house at 2 in the morning last night because we were out of town together and we were on the way back from the airport, and she's having issues and she's pregnant. And I haven't been able to get a hold of her this morning, and I've gone to her house and her car's there and stuff like that, but she won't answer the door, she won't answer phone calls, she won't answer text messages, and I'm just really, really concerned. And she had a doctor's appointment this morning and she didn't go to it, and I don't know what to do. I've called him and talked to him, and he said that she went on a play date with her other 2 daughters, but like if she went on a play date, they're both in car seats, why would she not take her car?
Why would Shanann take her children on play dates with their car seats still in the back of her car? Shanann would never have done that.
Okay, but what's new? What is new for mainstream media to bring this up now?
Pregnant Shanann Watts sets off again for a work trip with close friend Nicole Atkinson.
The reason I bring it up is because we get accused of dragging things up and going over things again and again and again, when I'm just pointing out this is exactly what the mainstream media does as well. We only do what they do. Some of us more delicately than others, obviously.
But she's hopeful to reconcile when she returns. The pair's flight is delayed, and Atkinson drops Shanann off at home just before 2 a.m. Monday. Shanann has a 9 a.m. doctor's appointment, but the expectant mom misses it.
There's more.
We waited the time we were told. The mom called again. He said he was still on it and to wait another 45 minutes. So he's just been giving us false times and everything. And we know he's been lying because his stories aren't adding up.
Right.
Tell everybody different stories. Because we have one story. She's with a friend right now, and then there's another story. She's on a play date with her kids with another friend, and then she left in the middle of the night. So he's told us 3 different stories. So
now that's
the bit when he turns up. He's told them different stories. He turns up from work or wherever he's been. As soon as he gets out the truck, he runs over, says hello to the police officer, and just stares directly at Nicole, and Nicole just gives him the daggers.
the son of Shanann's best friend, Nicole Atkinson, speaking. Now, I've always believed and observed that if your story gets embellished, like you add facts to it, you're hearing Nicole Atkinson's son describe how Chris Watts' story was changing.
We have been able to recover a body that we're quite certain is Shanann Watts' body. We have strong reason to believe that we know where the bodies of the children are, and recovery efforts are in process on that.
That's from our friends at ABC 11. Her body recovered, and recovered in a horrible way. Pregnant Shanann was found buried in a shallow grave. I told you earlier that she then, baby Nico was born by coffin birth. Her body expelled her.
Yeah, you told us within the first 2 minutes of the program starting, and now you want to tell us again. But YouTubers sensationalize. Mainstream media don't, do they? So now you're going to mention it again for the second time. Whereas if I was doing this, I'd mention it once and that'd be it. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but I'm just sick of this being aimed at YouTubers. We've got it now going on with another case with the Jay Slater case in Britain, which I'm going to do a program on or a video on. And his mother is trying to get behind a campaign to silence YouTubers. It was the YouTubers that started off searching for her son. And not only that, there was a GoFundMe that a lot of the public donated to. Nothing was said about that. The money was good enough when it came rolling in off the public. And now all of a sudden the public are not allowed to have a say. Can't have it both ways. But that's for, again, that. This is going to take a big deep dive into that Jay Slater case for me to explain it all. It's bad enough in the UK that people are being jailed for what they're saying on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that in the first place. It's crazy over here.
She had Bella and Celeste, her 2 little girls, not far from that shallow grave. Bella and Celeste, these 2 babies, were found their bodies forced into oil drums, long cylindrical drums, and their bodies decomposed in that liquid not far from where Mommy was buried.
What possessed him, pardon the pun, what possessed him to separate the 3 of them? He could have at least put them all in the same place so they were all together. But I suppose he wasn't thinking of that, was he? Because he doesn't have feelings. I mean, any normal person like us, we wouldn't even contemplate it, obviously. But why split them up? I'm still convinced he didn't have enough time to do everything that day. I don't think he had enough time to do everything.
Questioned? Listen to what he had to say and watch his demeanor.
You have to trust me that when I tell you that these 2 beautiful girls right here, I did nothing to them, and to my beautiful wife, I did nothing to her. Like, you have to trust me and believe me. Like, I know you don't know me as a person. You've known me for like 2.5, 3 hours, and I don't know what your opinion is, but you have to realize that these 2 beautiful girls right here and my wife, I had nothing to do with the disappearance. Like, they vanished, they were taken, someone has taken them, they're safe somewhere, we don't know. I had nothing to do with this act of like evil cruelty, whatever has happened here.
I had nothing to do with this act of evil cruelty. Apparently, you still don't know what's happened yet. I think that's his way of coping, of separating himself. I think he's distancing himself from like this devil inside him that's done this horrible act, and that's how he copes.
Wife, like, I don't want anything to happen to them. I've never wanted anything to happen to them. Like, I need them. I want them just to run through that front door and just grab me, or just just tackle me, knock me to the floor, bust my head up. I don't care. The amount of love I have for my family is exponential, and it's never gonna die.
How can you say that after everything he's done?
And I want them back. Okay. I have to have them back.
Listen.
I didn't think anything like that could happen. I didn't think I'd ever do it, but I did. I know. Keep going. And she accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her,
and I
felt
her.
Horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was. I don't want to. I didn't hurt her. I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her.
It's no good whispering, Chris. Howard.
Oh,
Howard
my stars. Not
blaming
only
his
does he
wife.
murder her, he then blames her that she is the bad person. There's a tiny bit more. Listen.
And then what happened? I looked at her and I got on top of her and
You got on top of Shanann?
did the same thing.
Okay. Did you have to knock her down?
No.
She was already on the ground?
I just pulled her off on the bed. And,
Oh, kind of one movement.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not as though you
I didn't
pulled her off.
No, like I went up, pulled her down and did that. I didn't know. I lost it.
Sure. Okay.
So Shanann was laying on the ground?
On the bed.
On the bed?
Yeah, like when she was on top of me, I saw what was happening. I pulled her, went down on
How
the
big
bed.
was the bed? What kind of size is it? Full, clean, you know?
I think it's probably a queen of some sort.
Okay.
I have a picture of it somewhere.
And then finally.
Is Queen bigger than Was a king bigger than a queen in a bed? King's the biggest, isn't it? Surely.
And I put my hands around my wife's neck and did that same thing.
Did Shanann fight back at all when you did that?
The rage that I had after seeing that, like, not much.
Could at least own up to it, and not be a coward.
How do you know
At least own up to what you've done.
Joining me right now is a very special guest that I've wanted to speak to again for a very long time. Cherelyn Cadle, the author of The Murders of Christopher Watts and The Many Faces of Christopher Watts, a 5-year.
Now, I just want to say, before we watch this, but I haven't seen this yet, but what I gather, it's really 50-50 whether you believe this woman or not. I don't know. I haven't read her books. I've read paragraphs. I can't get the book, but it seems as if everyone was out for their own agenda, trying to make money. Say what you want about Chris, but he was taken advantage of, I think, at some point. People visiting him and different things. People were taking advantage of the fact that they were trying to get an in with him and then trying to make money off books. I don't know whether this woman's credible or not, but I'd take it with a pinch of salt. And through certain videos I've watched, I don't think there is one legitimate person that goes to visit Chris apart from his mum and dad. So anyone else you can take with a pinch of salt, I think. Do your own research, make your own minds up. But let's see what she's got to say, and then we'll have a bit more insight.
Cherelyn, thank you.
Well, just as you saw him on the front porch that morning, it seemed more like he was trying to not laugh. There's a lot here to uncover, and I'm going to write this man, and I want to write a book about him. I felt very led to do so. I just felt like it was meant to be. And so I did write him, and he responded and
love the fact that you'd make money.
Proposal to write a book.
If you're going to do it, just be honest about it. Just say, I know the public that are interested in serial killers, they're interested in murderers. I knew if I could get access to Chris, I could write a book and I could make money. Just be honest about it. Don't give us, oh, it was meant to be. Oh, it was meant to be. I just got a visiting order from nowhere. And I just knew that was the day I had to go visit Chris. I knew I had to write about this man. I knew I had to document this series of events. No, you wanted to make money. You wanted to write a book. And you wanted to make money. Don't bullshit people.
I've never been interested in hearing what he had to say, but I'm curious. The way I would be curious, like looking at a spider under a glass case, I'm curious in that way, like when you go to the snake house at the zoo. So I'm very curious.
Nancy Grace, you can't tell me if Chris Watts offered her a prime time interview, she wouldn't take it. These two are as bad as each other. They'd both snap his fingers off. They would both drop everything that they were doing that instant, and you can guarantee both these women would be in that prison interviewing him. So don't give me all that.
What Chris Watts had to say, tell me everything. Start at the beginning.
I don't care what he had to say, but since you're here, tell me everything. Tell me everything you know. You know, make your mind up. You either didn't want to know and you're not interested in him, and now you want to know everything about him, everything that he said. So either what you wanted to know or you don't. Come on, Nancy.
Beginning was he wanted to clear his wife's name. So he was willing to speak with me. He invited me to come to the prison. Actually, his mother was very much pushing for it, and I think it's because they thought they could control the narrative of...
Control what narrative, though? There is no narrative. He killed them all. End of.
Of a grandmother that they thought was someone that they could control, that he could control. So I went to the prison and I sat with him the first day for 5 hours as he poured out everything that had happened, but telling me there were some things that he couldn't tell me face to face, but he would write them to me in a letter. He said that there were guards listening and that type of thing, and I don't know what he was trying to protect at that point. But anyway,
okay, now that's curious. He didn't want to talk because guards
were listening. What difference would that make? It'd make absolutely no difference at all. I wonder if she's got proof that he said all this. My money's on that she hasn't.
Were listening. What would that have
Right.
to do with him telling the truth just because a guard was listening?
He can't tell her face to face, but he can write it down in a letter. So he can't tell her face to face in the visitor room where, you know, she would get this information and she could put it in her book. But he can write it down and send it to her in the post where his mail's going to be screened. And yet, if it's going to be too graphic, censor his mail and they won't let that mail go out anyway. So if he's going to write it down and he puts in his letter some horrific series or chain of events that he thinks in his head happened, or they actually did happen, and he writes it all down and he puts it in this letter, that'll go to the mailroom. They'll read it and they won't send it out. So he's better off just telling her there and then. I mean, he's already done unquestionable actions that he could do, putting his hands around his kids and what could be worse than that?
He was trying to protect at that point. But anyway,
Okay, now
he
that's
wrote
curious. He didn't want to talk because guards were listening. What would that have to do
Right.
with him telling the truth just because a guard was listening?
Right, exactly. But this is a man who wants people to think that he is the good boy next door. That's the way he came off to everyone. And he's a monster, absolutely a monster in sheep's clothing. When I went to the prison to meet with him, he just acted like the nicest guy and would hang his head, not look me straight in the eye. I could tell he was very ashamed. And at one point I said, Christopher,
I think that's what makes people like Chris Watts. Wouldn't expect it of him, and that's what makes him so dangerous. I think he would do it again. These silent ones are so dangerous because they don't seem as if they could harm you.
look at me. Stop looking down. Look at me. When you talk to me, I want you to look at me.
Yeah, he doesn't seem
Well,
dangerous
he
at
was
all.
lying so much, I realized later. Because he was blaming what he did on other things. So from there, he started writing me letters, many letters, 12-page letters. And one of the things he was trying to hide is the girls were still alive. As he was rolling Shanann off of the bed and wrapping her in a sheet, Bella walked in the bedroom and said, "What's wrong with Mommy? What's happened?" And he told her that Mommy was sick and they were going to take her to the hospital. But he was mortified that child woke up, as he put it. Not far behind her was Cece. Cece was stumbling. My opinion, she may have had a little bit of brain damage from where he had smothered them and thought that he had completed the job. It takes more than a couple of minutes to do that, and I think he stopped too soon.
Wow.
One of the most horrible things that can be imagined is he put those two baby girls in the back seat of his truck. Bella asking why they weren't in a car seat or a seat belt, and him telling them it was okay. It'd be okay this time.
Well,
He laid Shanann across the bottom
Can you go out?
of the floorboard of that truck,
Well,
under the girls' feet. And the girls kept saying, "Something stinks, Daddy. Something smells. What's wrong? What's wrong with Mommy?" He took them to the oil field where he had them wait while he rolled Shanann out onto the ground. He pulled her over away from the truck and he buried her where those baby girls could watch, if you can even imagine. As he rolled Shanann over, he noticed that Nico had been born, and he was like amazed at what had just happened. He went back to the truck. He smothered Cece, he said first, and then he smothered Bella. Well, first, when he smothered Cece, he said he took her up to the oil battery and put her in but he put her in an 8-inch hole. Now, if you think of ordering an individual pizza, it's about 8 inches around. And he put her in this 8-inch hole, and he had to stomp her in. He couldn't just drop her in. He had to stomp her in. And he heard the splash as her body hit the oil. Then he went back to the truck, and Cece said, "Daddy, you're not going to do the same thing to me that you did to Bella, are you?" But he took that child and he put a blanket over her head and he smothered her, and she fought him. She may have only been 4, but that child fought him with everything she had. And it has still made me wonder to this day if if Bella may have been alive when he dropped her in that oil bath.
Let me stop that for a minute. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've just had a look, and this was first aired in 2025, so that would make more sense as to why they're talking about what they're talking about. So I'd imagine this is aired when this Cherelyn Cadle first wrote her books, which makes more sense. But still, why bring this out now? I still stick to the point that YouTubers get a bad tar of the brush. You can't tell me that this isn't going to upset the families. My last video I've done was a memorial video about Shanann and the kids, right? Because I knew it was Christmas, and I don't think the family watch my videos at all, nothing like that. But clips of people's videos get around sometimes on the internet. I didn't think it was proper to do any sort of video, doing any analysis or deep dives or anything like that, so close to Christmas. So what I thought I would do is I would just do a memorial video for her and the kids, and then that way I still get a video out and I'm not really upsetting anyone, because I thought it'd be nice to have a memorial video. And then you've got people like this who bring this out, and then the first thing they mention is Shanann. Well, we all know what was brought up in the first 30 seconds of this broadcast. I'm not going to repeat it again because I'll be just as bad. But can you see what I'm getting at? The hypocrisy. Can you honestly see what I'm trying to get across? And we're the bad people. The YouTubers are supposed to be the bad people, you know? Even though it does make more sense why they're talking about what they're talking about. It did air in 2025, so it's not Nancy's fault that it's some topics that they're talking about this now. But I'm sure she has a say in when this gets brought out. Why is this being brought out so close to Christmas? Do you know what I mean? When people are talking about people being insensitive and all that.
And he didn't want to let go of her. He didn't want to go back to his real life and give up his girlfriend. But now, after murdering his family and being found guilty of everything, or he admitted to it, he then turned to blame his girlfriend, that she was dark and somehow she transferred this evil, dark spirit onto him, which made him kill his family. Just another way of blaming.
To be honest, I'm not going to carry on with this because, like I said, it is a bit insensitive near Christmas, and this is the reason why I didn't do a video on Chris Watts so close to Christmas and why I done the memorial video. So I'm not going to react to this much more now. I've had a look at it. People wanted me to have a look at it, so I've had a quick look at it. I've said I would, and I have. I just think it's a bit insensitive to be bringing it up so close to Christmas. Anything like this that discusses, you know, autopsies or anything like this sort of thing, you know, I mean, each to their own. If you want to do it, do it. But me personally, I wouldn't do that. It wouldn't hurt just to not talk about it for a week. I mean, you could call me a hypocrite because most of my videos are Chris Watts, but there we go. Who am I to say? You know, I just saying what I believe, that's all. Just thought with this just being released now, I thought this was like something relatively new that was coming out. And I reacted to it. I'm not really a reaction channel, am I? But so, that being said, I'd like to thank Desktronic as well for sponsoring today's video. Go over to their website and have a look at their desks and their chairs. They are motorized desks and chairs. This is probably my last video before Christmas. If it is, I want to wish you all a very happy Christmas. I've done a members video thanking you all. I've done a Discord video thanking you all. From the bottom of my heart, thank you everybody who's viewed any of my videos this year. I love you all. You're all amazing. I'll see you on Christmas Day. Don't be alone on Christmas Day. I will be doing a live stream. I don't know what time and I don't know how long, but I will be there. Remember, these cases can be emotional and stressful sometimes. Most of all, don't have nightmares. Really, because I fucked up loads of times. How many times did I fuck that up? I wish I'd have known that before. Oh my god, this is hard to deal with. Yeah, YouTubers get a bad name. And then they bring this out. They put this out, this stuff out. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas.